coach is all mad at me, but I wouldn't have done that for anything in the world. I mean, that was another home run. Plus the fact that it was just, it was, another. It was just, here I was a sophomore and knocking the poot out of the ball, and I just couldn't believe it, So that was one thing I do remember really well.
Well, tell us about your kids.
My kids?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell us in order of when they were born.
Yeah, Patrick was my first son, and he was born in Oregon. We had a baby right before Patrick. It was stillborn.
Oh,
and he was we named him Robert Eugene, and he's buried out close to where Kelly is. And
here in Austin?
No, in San Marcos.
In San Marcos.
And then we had Patrick, and he was about 4 years old when we moved back to Texas, and then we had Scotty, which was about a year and a half or so behind Patrick, and so we had both the boys while we were in Oregon. We came back for a while here in Austin, but we moved back to Oregon, so it just was a very short period of time in there that we lived back here. And they called us and wanted us to come back, and we of course packed our bags and went on back up there. Being young like that is nothing to pack up your stuff and go. And I had a little '66 Volvo, looked like
I had a '66 Volvo.
It's a little 30, looked like a '38 Ford. I mean it looked like one of the little
The
Ford.
P1800. Did you have one of those?
It wasn't a P1800. It was a
164, 144, 42,
140, 146. This was the new style, but it was the old style. It was the last year they were going to.
Oh, I remember what those were. Yeah, no, I never had one of those.
Yeah, and it was a great car. And we pulled a little U-Haul trailer with it up to Oregon, and had it packed to the brim, and we decided to go up the mountain to just one of them in California. I can't remember. It's right pretty close to the border of Oregon and
Not Mount Shasta, is it? Or
yeah, not Shasta. No, it's too far north.
McKinley? Isn't there one in McKinley out
No,
there?
it's why can't I think?
It's not
of
the one that blew up, is it?
No, that was that was in
Helens, St. Helens.
Yeah, this one was inside of Oregon. I mean, inside of the California coast. I mean, it's inside. Anyway, beautiful area, and so we decided to go up and follow this road and to go to the top.
Hauling a trailer.
Hauling a little trailer, and in a Volvo, and it said, visitors beyond this point without chains, snow chains, turn around and go back, And so it said snow chains required, blah, blah, blah. So we kept going. And there's no snow, and there's no ice or anything. All of a sudden we had to
Keep going.
We had to turn around, and we came to just a block in the road. It was just like, snow and stuff was everywhere. And on this side, it was just a sheer wall right on the
cliff.
It wasn't a cliff.
It was a wall. Okay.
Yeah. And on this side was a cliff. So I tried to turn it around, and I started sliding. So the trailer started pulling my car back, and people were coming down the deal, and no one stopped or anything, And finally, I got the trailer kind of halfway jackknifed, and so I stopped this guy and asked him to help me with it, and he said, "Well, all you need to do is just unhook it and turn it around and turn your car around, and you know, just go ahead and hook it up that way, and just block the trailer. You'll get you know, you can back up to it. You know, well.
I can hear this coming.
Being on ice, and I took the whole thing off, took the trailer off, and back. I mean, it was going to lift the trailer up, and it started sliding and sliding, and it just went far. I mean, it just was heading right into the car, and just as it hit the car, I mean, just before it hit the car, I lifted my hand off of it because it would have cut my hand right in two right there because it was hit. And it just went right through the trunk of the car. The trailer did.
Right through the trunk?
Mm-hmm. And
I thought you were going to tell me it went off the side of the cliff.
Oh, it would have been a lot better if it had. Because I love that car, you know, and it just ruined the you know, the aesthetic value for me on it. But
yeah.
And I could have cut my hand off too.
Man.
So anyway, we finally got it turned around and went back, and then that was the biggest mistake we made. Then the other mistake was that we didn't have any money. So we were driving into Oregon.
Been there, done that.
Driving into Oregon, and we were on fumes, you know, I mean, and we kept driving, and we finally made it to my aunt's house and stuff, you know, and I don't know how we made it. I don't have a clue.
What'd you do? Have to beg your aunt for some money?
Well, we were going to stay with them anyway.
Oh, okay.
They traveled all the time. He ran a territory for the Ludwig Drum Company, so he was. They were gone all the time, so they were going to let us stay there until we could get up enough money to say, you know. So we've been in that position all of our lives, see, no money. And,
I can relate to that.
Yeah, but Rexy, it was probably some of the best experience I've ever had. You know, we met some of the most wonderful people and just had a great time. I traveled all over the state of Oregon and loved
You
it.
were selling music.
Band instruments.
Yeah.
Clarinets, horns,
Wow.
all kinds of stuff. And got to know the band directors around there because we'd entertain them. We had a good budget for entertaining the band directors and their wives, and we had a great, we just had a great time.
Well, tell me one memorable story about each of your kids. I guess Patrick was first, right?
Yeah, Patrick was our first, most memorable story I remember from him. All my life experiences, you know. Yeah. Well, he's got to. I'll be in big trouble. Yeah. Huh? That's true. That's very true. So, anyway, we're just sitting here making pictures, making. Well, no.
You just tap water?
Do what now? Oh, well, thank you, Dane. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got to see him, the new doctor in the morning, and see what his thoughts are, and then we're going to go, Wednesday morning, we're going to go to the regular oncologist, and then Wednesday afternoon I'm going to the urologist, so that they're going to, okay, everybody's keeping track of my O-ring and my pee-pee, huh? Okay, Boo. It's always, we will. It's good to hear from you. All right, love you. See you.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah. He, what was it happened the other day? I can't remember what it was, but it was funny. We died laughing.
Well, you were telling us about the kids.
Yeah.
And you had done Patrick
Mm-hmm.
and Scott and
Robin.
And you had started talking about Robin, about carrying her over the fence.
Yeah, and her arm popped out of place. Yeah.
So then who was next?
Kelly.
Kelly. Okay.
Kelly would be the next one. And I guess probably some of the most memorable about her was that when she first got one of her better wheelchairs, well, the kids used to race her along with another girl that had a wheelchair, and they would race down the sidewalk over at the elementary school. And one day she got into a crash with one of them.
Oh, gosh.
And cut her over the eye and stuff. But she just came up laughing and, just wanted to go right on. But they had to take her to the doctor and get a stitch in.
How old was she then?
She was in the first grade.
First grade?
Yeah. Little bitty, skinny, bony thing,
Racing in her... How did this happen? Well, I was having wheelchair races.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And then one time I forgot to strap her down whenever we were, I took off, she was in the van and in the back, and I took off and we went around a corner and dumped her out on the floor, floorboard of the car, the truck, of the van. And we did that several times. I don't know why we would forget to strap her down, but, she'd come up crying, and then she'd stop, and we'd go right on, We played with her, and she went on trips with us just like any other kid,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we'd go camping together, we'd go do everything,
The thing that's neat about Kelly was that she had all her mental faculties,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Whereas some of the other folks they have...
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
They have a good body, but not good.
Well, it's like the kids that Caroline helps take care of up there, at school. But she's, that's what made it so hard sometimes, is because it was very frustrating to her that she could not do certain things. And, I was always wanting to do her homework for her, and she didn't want that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd get mad at her because she wouldn't want me to help her.
Mm-hmm.
She'd give me the answer that she thought it was, and I would think, well, it's not quite right, but, we'd let her go.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd tell the teachers, and they said, don't worry about her. She's great in class. She's got a great attitude. She got all this stuff. She said, she said, she'll do just fine,
Mm-hmm.
And then we got them finally to cut back, like give her a third or a fourth of what the other kids would have to do, because
Mm-hmm.
she just physically couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. So, is that all your kids?
Yeah, that's it.
So you got
4.
4 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me something memorable about Carol Ann that you can repeat in public.
Yeah, right.
Grin started right off the bat. That's why I had to add that.
Yeah, there's lots of things.
There was
Carol
a
Ann
little
does,
mischievous grin there that just came up.
Yeah, she's quite a corker. We, like I said, we started out dating as on blind date, and
You won her on a coin toss.
won her on a coin toss, and just I guess the most memorable thing that I can think of is her just wonderful, great personality, and the way she's treated me, all of our married life.
Was there any kind of
Funny
any
thing?
event that sticks out or funny?
Well, there's
thing?
several, but I can't.
Well, something you could talk about. I'll never forget the time my wife got on my racing snowmobile,
Mm-hmm.
and we were on a lake, and she was running around. I think it would do over 100 miles an hour.
Dang.
And she was going wide open around and around and around on this lake, and I was afraid she was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And we just had some ski-doos, and they'd only go about 40, and there was no way we could catch her.
Yeah.
And she'd come up next to us and get kind of next to us, and then I'd hear her gun it, and all you could see, she had a mask on, and all you could see was those white teeth hanging out of that because she was grinning. I was afraid she was going to kill herself.
Oh, yeah. Golly. Well, do y'all miss being up there? I mean, in that kind of
No,
weather?
I don't miss that cold weather at all.
No, I
Don't
wouldn't
miss
at
it.
all either. I couldn't.
No.
Yeah. We had mostly rainy, kind of drizzly weather where we lived.
I hate to be my age living in that cold
Oh,
up there.
I couldn't do it. I just
No.
you know,
We've been here as long as we've been as long as I lived in Michigan.
really.
Been here 30 years. That's how long I lived in Michigan.
Man, I don't know.
No, I would.
And
It's a beautiful place in the summertime. It's a nice place to go visit, but I do not want to go.
Yeah,
I
go
do
live
not
there.
want to live there.
Yeah, it's just, gosh, Rexy, I can't think of anything about Carol Anning,
Just
other than just
oh well,
horsey things, you know, that we did.
yeah.
You know, just making.
Well, you had a whole life together. 44 years together. It's,
I can.
becomes part of you. I know with Velma, she can be laying on the couch sleeping and snoring, but as long as she's there, that's all I
right.
need.
That's
I don't.
right.
We don't need to be talking. We don't need to be
I know, it's just kind of a little pat
doing
type
anything.
thing,
We just need to be there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
And it's like part of your body.
yeah, yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, that's so important, but it's also bad to think about, when things start going wrong too,
Yeah. Well,
But,
where we're going to, the promise that we have,
Yeah.
And that is the beautiful part about our faith,
Yeah.
and we know where we're headed.
yeah,
We know that it's not unpleasant. It's a place of great joy and beauty and just tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to you before about that when we went for breakfast
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
time. About that.
yeah. It's like you were saying. I mean, or who was it? Anyway, you wonder if was it you we were talking about whether there's hospitals or anything in heaven, which I'm sure
I don't
there's
think we
not.
need them, will we?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure we
And
won't.
probably have
Really,
instantaneously healing bodies or
Yeah.
something. If you could somehow damage them,
Yeah.
I think they're probably indestructible, aren't we, or what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
At least we have glorified bodies. We're able to eat. I know that. Christ was able to eat.
Yeah.
And he had.
Well,
he
that's,
could.
that's part of pleasures of life,
Yeah.
of living is.
He could materialize through walls, which he did you remember after he was resurrected, and the apostles were all there, and
Yeah.
even Thomas was there,
Mhm.
doubting Thomas, and he appeared out of thin air, just appeared in the room
Right.
with them, and they thought he was a ghost, and they were all terrified. He said, "Well, give me fish and honey," and they gave him fish and honey, and he ate. He said, "Look, ghosts don't eat." That's what he told him. He said, and then he had Thomas put his hands in his wounds,
yeah.
and so he had a glorified body that was able to go through walls and materialize, and yet it was a physical body,
Right.
So we have that to look forward to,
Yeah.
and that reminds me. Tell me about how you got saved, and how did you come to know the Lord?
Well, I was very young. I feel like young whenever I first accepted Christ as my Savior, and that was whenever, let's see, I believe it was 1953. I was going to look in my Bible over there. My dad and I were baptized at the same time, and
Oh, that's neat.
I don't know how we. I remember that I was just overjoyed with it, and we went forward, and we had I've actually been baptized, I think, 3 different times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And mainly because of my I wanted to rededicate my life, and that was once whenever I went into when I went into college. or my senior year in high school, I rededicated my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it was probably made me realize how much more Christ meant to me then than it did whenever I was younger. And but then later, my wife and I, Carol Ann and I were she was rebaptized, or actually the first time she was ever baptized was at Pond Springs Baptist Church,
Mm-hmm.
where all of our kids were baptized.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I rededicated my life at a Church of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
We were there, and we're going to church there when we lived up on the lake.
This is here at Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then ever since it's been, we
Mm-hmm.
we didn't go to church very much at all when we first got married.
Mm-hmm.
And when our children started getting up older, well, it was we decided that we needed to start going to church, and
Mm-hmm.
there were several things that happened in our life that made us realize that we needed God in our life.
Absolutely. We had the same experiences.
Yeah, we went to when we started going to Pond Springs Baptist Church. We were living right behind the church. We'd gone through a bankruptcy. We'd gone through a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol Ann had a bleeding ulcer it almost killed her. And I was at a church way out going towards Burnett one day. I was selling printing equipment and stuff, and I stopped in there, and they were having their morning prayer. It was like on a Monday morning, and they were praying. The pastor and everybody, the staff was all praying, and they asked me to join in, and I did, and it was very meaningful to me. So that Sunday, I wanted to take Carol Ann and the kids out to that church. Well, we were all packed up into one of our cars, and the battery was dead. So we had to get Kelly back out, get cars loaded all back up, and we went and got in the other car, turned it on, and we had no gasoline. And didn't have a dime to our name, And so so one of the kids says, well, what about that church right there? And that was Palm Springs, And we were in the cul-de-sac right behind it. We lived out there. So we just went right over the fence and went over there and felt so welcome, and just felt like God was opening his arms to us. And I became a deacon over there and for about 5 or 6 years. And Carol Ann worked as a church secretary, and all the kids got baptized over there. So
Isn't it funny how time goes on and things change? I mean, when you first start a church like that, you think you'd never leave, but things change in your lives.
Oh, the whole church changed over
Yeah.
there. It split wide open,
Yeah.
and it was during the Baptist, the Southern Baptists had all these problems.
Yeah.
And they, our pastor had become a Methodist minister after the fact, if you can believe it, that. And
Wow, you went from Baptist to Methodist?
Methodist,
Oh,
yeah,
darn.
yeah. And he had all kinds of problems in his life. His children were, he had adopted 2 kids and then had one of his own.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 kids that he adopted were bandits, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, and it all, I don't care how you're raised, it has a lot to do with blood, and
Think so?
I do. I feel like it has a lot to do with it, because Steve wasn't that hard on those kids, but boy, they became.
But sometimes maybe it was he didn't give them enough discipline. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Of course, by that time maybe they were beyond discipline.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It has to come really early in their lives.
Yeah, but we, our discipline didn't come very early. I mean, I disciplined our kids, so I mean, I did not let them get away with anything.
Yeah.
As far as talking back to to Carol Ann or anything like that. They knew that if they did, it was the wrath was going to be upon them. Scotty and Patrick, I mean, his wife was over here the other night. She just dropped by on her way home from work, and she was telling us what a wonderful son we had raised, and her husband, which is Scott, and she said that he has the best manners and the best treats her so well that she just can't believe how he is with her. And sometimes I think that's a little bit why Robin has a hard time with the guys that she hooks up with, and you might edit this part of it.
Yeah.
But she, I think, a lot of times expects her boyfriends or the husband that she had to be more like the way that they were raised here in this household. And it's very hard to find people that my dad. I had to open the door for my mother. I had to open the door for my girlfriends. I had to do all those kind of things, that show respect and show, consistency with life, and so it's, I had to do all of those things, which I don't disagree with at all. As a matter of fact, I think it's lacking in today's world. And
absolutely.
So bad.
Yeah.
And so.
I'm going to unhook this thing so I can carry it by hand. So I'm going to turn it off just for a second. And
yeah.
So.
You probably ran over a bunch of good stuff that he had,
I don't know. I had some film of him when I was testing it after he brought it over today. Yeah. So anyway, I just.
Now, what will you do with this? Just be.
Like I said, I'm going to put it on YouTube and blackmail you.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to put it on YouTube. So you can see it's recording. It's recording your kitchen.
All that stuff hanging around in there.
So we're about to wrap it up. But why don't you just tell me, or what you'd like to say to your kids and your wife?
Oh gosh, that's
anything you'd like to say to them. And
well, they know this.
Well, let's just start with Carol Ann first. What would you want to say to Carol Ann?
I love her beyond anything that I can possibly think of. I mean, I know that God is always first, and but just like last night, I had a boohoo session, and I told her under any circumstances that could I have ever picked anybody or loved anybody any more than I love her, and I'm so happy that we had met and that we are who we are with each other. God did the right thing when he flipped the coin the way he flipped it.
Yeah.
And I can't.
You think it was a flip of the coin, huh?
I do. I think.
I bet you couldn't have turned that coin over with a cement truck.
Probably not. And it's one of probably the most wonderful things that's ever happened to me. Well, it is the most wonderful thing. And raising our children, Patrick, I love you. You've always been in my heart in a much different way than the other children. There are things that I love about you that I couldn't possibly love about Pat and Scotty or Robin or Kel. And there's so many things that just I want to tell you and have told you all of my life within my own heart. And I love our relationship right now, and I wouldn't give anything in the world for it. And I'm sorry that you and Aaron are not together, but I am very happy that we are together, and I think it's worth the difference. And I love you very, very, very much. And Scotty, you have always been around and been with the family in many ways, and I think it's your personality, and I think it's the way that I was basically raised, and I just feel like that you have picked up on a lot of that. I think a lot of it is in your personality and your just the way that you are as a person. I love you very much, and I pray that you will raise your children and love your wife for the rest of your lives, and to the point of just almost being mushy all the time. So I love that in you, and I love the way that you treat them now. And Robbie, you are you have always been special to me in other ways that the boys are, and I guess my expectations have always been probably more of you, but it's only because I see the wonderful potential that you have in the way that you your intelligence, your love for life, your love for other people, and I just want you to know that you're special to me, and no more love than what I have for the boys, but in a different way. And Kel, you are just something else. I can't wait to see you, and I can wait, but I want to be able to see you and hug you and have you come flying up to me and with your feet and arms waving and walking or running towards me. And just you're such a wonderful lady, and I have always been so glad that I could take up for you and get those bus drivers and tell them, get yourself down there and pick up that young lady. And I can't imagine not having you to be able to take care of her. I love you so much, and see you soon.
Well, that sounds like a good ending spot right there. I'm going to shut her off.
Okay.